Okay, the goal here is how to make a chart in Microsoft Excel. You should start with frame, horizontal, and vertical. First of all, we're going to do something for the frame rate. So we're going to do time. And then for my video, each frame was 1/300th of a second. So I'm going to click equals the frame divided by 300. That's 1/300th, and then the next one will be 2/300. If I make a black cross here, right there, I can double click and it'll do all of my data all the way down to the bottom. That's great. Now I want to make a graph. Excel doesn't call them graphs, they call them charts. And they won't make it right the first time. So even though I want horizontal X on the vertical axis and time on the horizontal axis, I'm just going to pick these two columns for now. Go up into Insert. It gives me some different charts. I'm going to always in physics want a scatter plot, and it makes an ugly graph. This graph isn't right in any way, so I'm going to right-click and go to Select Data. When I go to Select Data, I want to edit the data, and the important thing is X values and Y values. For X values, I want the time. So I'm going to click here, and then it's going to allow me, badly positioned, but it's going to allow me to pick the time column. And I also want the Y values to be the horizontal position. So another way of doing it, I know I really want column B. I can just change these letters to B. Now it has column B. And there my graph is somewhat better. It doesn't quite match up. So, okay, that's what I've got. Then I'll say okay again, and now I have my graph. It's a little weird looking, but it is like that. Now I want labels on the axes. This one, if you go to page layout, it doesn't work. See up here, there's chart tools and layout. That's where you see axis titles. Pull in a horizontal axis title. Then you'll have to write what it is. This is time. And then pull down a vertical axis title. I want the rotated one. I never know what to type here. So this is horizontal. Centimeters. And then the whole chart needs a title. And so I'm going to say dropping a battery into line position. Okay, so there's my graph, and I've got it, and I'm done. I put it off to the side, and we'll make another one with vertical. Okay. So now I'm going to take my two columns again, doesn't matter, insert, scatter plot. I have to fix the axes because they're always wrong. So select data, I right-click to get that, edit, and then I know for the x-axis, I really want the time column. So this should be D. The y-axis, I really want what's Y right now, so this should be C. Say okay. It goes down and then up. Now this is, it actually falls and then bounces up and then falls down again, so this is upside down. So I don't really want that. What I really want is something that's like flipped the Y. So I'm going to add a new column, flipped vertical. And I want to figure out where the floor is. The floor seems to be around here at like 26 or so. To figure out where the floor is, I can get to the bottom and say equals maximum, which means I'm going to pull the maximum number out of this whole column. So the maximum is 25.49. So flipped vertical is going to be 25.49 minus whatever that number is. Put that all the way down. Then when I go over here, I'm going to change my data again. Edit. Now instead of C, where I have the regular vertical, I want the flipped vertical. So I'm going to change it to E. Okay. And look, I turned it right upside down. Yay. I also want chart tools layout, axis titles, horizontal axis. Again, this is time in seconds. And then I also want a vertical axis. This is vertical position in centimeters. And for my chart title, I'm going to do flip, accurate, vertical position, time, drop. Okay, it comes down and it bounces. For a long time it bounces. All right, so then I have my two graphs, and I'm done.